brain tap.
amazing. I have some meditations that are similar to that I do.
Yes.
Y'all, everybody, Clarissa, you need to try that. Really. She's like, I'm
on it. So there's one lady who does like a meditation, and she talks about peace and all that stuff, because a lot of them are the Dr. Patrick Porter, but she talks about peace, and I don't know what she does in the algorithms with her with the flashing lights that go over your face. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, they flash in your ears and over your eyes, and I feel like I'm in a dome the whole time I'm doing the meditation. I'm like, okay, I'm here. I'm still on the ground. It's really cool.
They haven't beamed you up yet.
Right? I'm waiting.
They
probably have, and they were like,
we're back.
They put you back. That's what happened.
Back there where we got her. Checked. I love that. Okay, well, everyone, welcome to a Prana Wellness Group, and thank you guys so much for coming today. I know that all this has been a little chaotic, because it's just so much fun, because we do so many different things, and a lot of people don't even know half the things that we do. And so one of the things that, like Cindy was talking about, and Cindy, if you want to introduce yourself real quick.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And you are?
I'm one of the trainers here, yoga instructors. I teach floor yoga, also do the sling yoga, and I do aroma touch therapies and the healing room, which is you're laid down on a massage table. I need access to your back and your feet. It's a process of about 10 oils that are applied in a specific order in a specific way on the back to just help you achieve homeostasis through the body. So those are some of the services I do here. Working on the human garage, Fascia maneuver certifications also. So.
Yeah. Has anybody heard of Human Garage in here?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. No. Really? Okay. So Human Garage has actually been around for quite a while. And they used to have a clinic in LA, and they had over 50 practitioners working in their clinic, and they realized that people weren't healing. They were getting them out of pain, and then they were coming back in worse pain. And so they teach people how to work on themselves, and so that's kind of what we do in here too. So because if we're stuck worrying about, okay, well, I can't fix myself, or I don't know how to fix myself, or I don't even know where to start, it's very empowering. It's very no, it's just like you don't feel like you can take care of yourself, but when you can teach other people and work on yourself, how to release yourself and how to do things that will get you out of pain or get you out of a trauma state, not even a trauma state, it's like our nervous system gets stuck in loops, and a lot of times that gets stuck in our body, and what we don't realize is most of the time we've been clenching like this for a really long time. And it starts to show up on her face. No. And so, especially when you have a daughter that's pregnant, it really shows up on your face. Oh, and then back here is Kobe. If you want to introduce yourself really quick.
I'm Kobe. I'm one of the health coaches here and a holistic chef. I help with the retreats and all the cooking, and that's it.
And what you're doing there.
And he's the creative director. He's the web designer. He keeps me in line.
Yes,
I try.
He needs an award for it. So yeah, and then Sally is in there, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have met Sally too. She just started entering into our teacher training program, so we do teacher trainings as well. And like you said, retreats. We just got back from a camping retreat that we did we stayed for 6 days, yeah. but the camping retreat for 3. Then we had people come out and get their jaw released and do other things while we were out there, so it was a lot of fun. And then we also do the nature hikes, usually on at the Acton Nature Center that we've been trying to do, and those are awesome because we usually do like a movement before, and then we go walk through nature with a whole bunch of people completely silent, and it's amazing. So good. We actually did it with 28 women one time. He's like, you're not going to get 28 women to not talk. They didn't. And it was awesome. So it was cool. So anyway, well, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of breath work today, which is my favorite thing. I've been a breath coach for 10 years. I teach people how to breathe for a living, yes, which is really an amazing thing in itself. But today I just want to kind of talk to you guys about face yoga and what that means. And so if you guys are going to do the 6-week series, I know, girl, we've been there, so we know what you're going through. But if you guys are doing the 6-week series, I'll make sure that you fill out there's a whole entire waiver, not waiver, but it really goes in depth, because everything that's happened to our face has a story. Every wrinkle in our face has a story. Everything on our face is a story. And so we'll do a whole face mapping for you. That's why we took your picture. And then plus I want you guys to kind of see just the before and after, because a lot of times like these right here is like this, you know, and like this right here is our tongue, you know, and so it's like you don't think of these things. And then a lot of this stuff comes from childhood. And so it's like, it's really interesting to know where all that stuff comes from. And beauty is, you know, way deeper than skin. And so it really does start on the inside. And so we always do like a lot of minerals and stuff like that, but releasing the feet, releasing the, hello. Oh, okay. But we do a lot of like releasing the feet. We release in between the webbings of the feet. And so if you've got, while you guys are listening, jabber on right here, if you want to take your pens and just start kind of working it in between the toes. And you're going to hold the pen in between the toes pretty vigorously, about like that. And so when we say we want about a 6 or a 7 of intensity, so like if this was so hard where you feel like your toe's gonna fall off, you know, not that bad, but like that's a 10. And so, but go to your 6 or 7. So everybody's 6 or 7 is different, but it should feel uncomfortable unless your fascia's not stuck there. If it's not uncomfortable, your fascia's not stuck. So and our fascia sticks, the first place it sticks is in our feet. And so like this is like weak ankles, you know, and so it's crazy all the different things that we have going on in our face. And so like I said, if it's not painful or even a little bit or uncomfortable, then it's not stuck and you can go ahead and move on to the next one. If it's like, oh, there's a spot, then stay there for a minute. And so usually we like to stay in these spots for a couple of minutes to kind of, you know, let them go or whatever, but you can, for ease, I just want you guys to feel a little bit around each one. For me, my big toe and then my little toe are the hardest ones for me, but everybody's different because of how we stand. So we always talk about not using shoes, and so a lot of people either be on the outside of their feet or they pronate, so they're on the inside of their feet. And so if you see what happens to my feet when I do that, do you see what happens to my knees and then my hips and then my shoulder and then my head? Just because my arch is collapsing. So do you see just that little bit of weakness in the foot collapses all throughout my face? How beautiful. And so that's why, again, the feet are so important in everything that we do with the face yoga. So let me see here. And so yeah, if you guys, if you're on the toes, so like I said, I don't wear shoes. I haven't worn shoes in probably 20 or 30 years. We'll get to the places and he's constantly like, babe, you didn't bring shoes, did you? Was I supposed to? And so I don't have a whole lot of pain, but I know a lot of my clients, when we just touch their toes, they're like, no. So again, if you don't have the pain, or just a little bit of uncomfortableness, you can just kind of move on to the next place. But for a lot of people, this is a game changer for them, because so right here on our plantar fascia, as I have my foot in my toes, this is kind of wrapped all around, which we kind of learned in our sling training, and it comes out and it's attached to your tongue, right? And so if we're tight down here, you see what that does to my face? Just because my foot is tight. And if we're walking in shoes, we're automatically, so our body is not getting to build these arches, it's not getting to do all these muscles, and so your face literally starts in your feet. So we're not getting to build these muscles as much. And then I always used to have my athletes, I'm like, you guys just get up about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and see the compensation that does to your body. So I'm gonna go ahead and have you guys stand up if you've done with your toes. Speed round with my toes real quick. right, around on the toes. And two, a lot of this, we'll kind of have to move a little quick just but there are things that I want you guys to remember so when you're at home you can kind of do them. But so if you guys just a little bit, just lift up your heels just a tiny bit and see what your body has to do. All the compensation that your body has to do. Everything is kind of trying to lean forward, so now we're trying to lean everything back. Do you feel all that? And so everybody has a ball. Do you have a ball? Does everybody have a ball? We got a ball. Has everybody got a ball? I'm running out of balls.
Where's your ball?
I think I need. You got a ball?
I gave everybody balls.
Oh, everybody has balls. Perfect. Except me. Okay, I got a ball. Okay, perfect. I got a ball. Okay, so our 3 points of balance kind of start here. So here, here, and here. So
And
that's
for
really
people
our
over
balancing points, huh?
For people over here, where are those points?
So here. So if you pull back, so here,
Here.
here,
Uh-huh.
and here.
Okay.
And so we're gonna start where those balancing points are, right underneath the foot. And just remember, I love y'all.
It hurts.
And so especially for people who don't release the feet, you're gonna feel this pretty all the way. Some people feel it all the way to in the top of their head. And so just kind of breathing through it, stay for a little bit. And then lymph is super important in our skin, in our face. We have our heart that pumps organs. We have, our bladder that actually moves. But unless we're moving, our lymph doesn't move. And it sits right here. All this, area right here. And so I'm gonna have you take your arms up here on the side of your ears and melt. So we always talk about melting like butter or like a candle wax or something. Imagine butter is frozen and with your hands you're just really trying to get it melted so you can put it on some toast or something. And so we're just kind of pulling down just for a second. So just light pressure, kind of piercing the skin and just pulling that down. And so two, when our lymph gets backed up in our neck, it presses on our vagus nerve, which I think Cindy's done a couple of vagus nerve releases with or resets with you guys today. But that presses on that vagus nerve, which comes to your ear and comes down here, which is our wandering nerve. It's what keeps us from getting overstressed. So we're just melting those adhesions right now. And I want you to notice if you feel a ball behind your ear or in your jaw, anywhere in that area. And if you do, I want you to kind of take a little bit, and I like the fingertips, pressure with the fingertips, and you're just kind of lightly kind of pulling down. So if you have any balls, other than the one under your foot or the one in the room. Sorry, I'm super. But if you have any of that, kind of put a little bit of pressure on that as well, holding that and just breathe. We're gonna take your ball and move it to that second point that I showed you, right underneath the pinky. Yeah. Love y'all, mean it. So a lot of times just releasing the face in itself is gonna change all of these muscles that are pulling down. So again, imagining this or our tongue, all of that starts to pull down our face. And so keep melting those adhesions. Just deep breath in through the nose. And a super slow breath out the nose. And then as you start to pull that down, you're gonna come down here to you'll feel like a little hollow kind of area right here. And so we should be able to take our hands all the way around our clavicle. So if we don't, then we have backup lymph in our termini and all this area, and it just gets stuck there. So that area right there might be sensitive. Again, we're pulling that down. Look up and breathe. Feel your whole body release. We don't realize how much tension we're holding here, and that directly pulls on your face. She's probably drowning in her own fluid right now. Just breathing. Go ahead and take your ball onto that back point. So right before the heel, and again, kind of take a little bit of, and so again, it shouldn't hurt, but if it does, that just means that you have stuck fascia there. Not right or wrong, not good, bad, just fix. And so again, do you guys kind of feel a little bit of that draining? Sometimes you'll feel like fluid draining down. You'll have like, as I drown in mine, you'll feel actually fluid draining down. And then especially right here, we hold so much tension. So just taking a little bit of extra time here. Anytime you kind of get stressed out or overwhelmed, this is a great place. And then switch sides. So that's gonna go right, actually let's go ahead and just kind of roll around the foot. And so again, based on how you've been wearing shoes, I used to wear 5-inch heels for 12 hours a day, and pencil skirts, doing luncheons at hospitals, and I look super cute, my whole body hurt. So find a spot on you, because based on your history and your holding patterns, it's gonna be different for everybody. And so find one more spot that you don't like, and just address it. Just be like, I love you, body, you're so wonderful. Because we always are trying to communicate with our body, right? We have become so disconnected from ourselves. I know people who know more about other people that they like that are not even good friends, or than they know about themselves. And so so really start paying attention, listening to the body. So go ahead and switch now. So did you guys find a different spot that kind of got you? So where was y'all's spot? Because everybody's is always different. Right there? Really? Arch? Okay.
That's the only one that hurt you?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't wear shoes very. I'm probably
Good.
better or worse than you.
No, that's awesome. No, but and so you're not having the pain because you use the whole foot, right? And so that's what we're meant to do, is use the whole foot. That's how our body knows where we are in space. That's how it knows how to, if there's danger, we need it to feel all the different levels. So our body kind of matches it correctly. When we're in shoes, our body is just and so I'm so anti-shoe. I got her whole family in no shoes. It's so awesome. I love it. And so now go ahead and go over to here. And so another spot. So if you guys had any balls on this side there, kind of you'll just kind of again just start working them, and you'll feel this line right here, right? And so some people, mine is super bad, and I'm going to tell you in just a second. I fixed it last night, and I wish I wouldn't have, because I was digging in here to work on some stuff, but my shoulder has been injured for about 2 months. And so this side of my face was really, like this right here was, just so deep. And then when we were doing videos yesterday, I was like, that side of my face wasn't even moving because my shoulder is injured, so it's affecting this side of my face. So, what is happening on one side is affecting the other. And so this muscle right here, if you kind of just keep going all the way down, and there, it comes down to a point right here. And so just kind of melting. And this is actually kind of attached to your diaphragm. But it also is an anti-anxiety release too. So if you're ever feeling anxious, or a little bit overwhelmed, or you need to kind of like, okay, in the moment I need help, not I can't do a shot right now, or I can't, go off and like punch somebody in the face, I have to be calm. This is a great way to get yourself out of anxiety, but it also pulls all of this stuff that's digging on and pulling on your face. Did you guys feel that? This side is really bad on me, but do you feel that one? So it's down, and it's this whole muscle that goes all the way to this point. Go ahead and switch.
Feels like it's giving me a headache. It's right
because
here.
It's
is
pulling
where
on
I'm pushing
all.
it here.
So
Wow.
these muscles. Do you guys feel that where it's pulling on your
Forehead.
what is this? Your
temple.
Thank you. Your temples and your forehead. But yeah, all of this is very much connected. So just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Keep pulling that down like you're trying to go all the way down to the thing. Breathe through the mouth and out through the mouth. in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, so we're gonna do that again. I want you to feel the different pressures in our body. So we use our breath as pressure to change our internal system, not just the way we feel, but it actually helps move our fascia, it actually helps move our lymph, everything. So in through the nose, out through the nose is upper, so notice that. In. Notice that was your upper diaphragm, out through the mouth, or in through the mouth, out through the mouth. And that was more lower, did you notice that? And now in through the nose, out through the mouth. Upper, lower. Breathe, good job. And then just find one more spot on your foot that hurts. Yeah. And then go ahead and grab a seat whenever you are ready. So I didn't have enough of the other torture devices, but I kind of will show you a little bit about what a lot of these things are. But this guy right here, he's pretty gnarly, but he gets into the spots like what she was talking about, because we get spots of fascia. And so a lot of times we'll take these into the little areas that will release like really big time in those areas. So everybody wash their hands, right? Everybody wash their hands. You guys are good with sticking your hands in your mouth? Okay, so, and a couple of you guys have had the jaw release with me, which is pretty intense, but it also, yeah, but it is hands down amazing, because it releases your hips, it releases everything in your body. If you've been in here with us, we pull our tongue while we're stretching our feet. It is all very much connected. And so this right here, so I want you guys just to push, and we're piercing. So anytime we're trying to work with the face or fascia, we want to pierce an area and move another area. And so I'm gonna flare my nostrils for a minute. And so just push and flare your nostrils. Because if we don't have any movement here, that's when we start getting the lip wrinkles, and then we don't get movement here. So pressing and flaring. And again, if it's not uncomfortable, then you're not stuck there. If it's a little uncomfortable, then it's worth holding on to. And so play with your breath and see what one works best for you too, because some people do better with the and they feel a little bit of release. Some people like the in through the nose, out through the mouth. Some people just like the in through the nose, out through the nose, but keep the nostrils flaring. And then, what made me get into face yoga, I got a really bad infection in my teeth, and I had to have my teeth pulled. And so it actually threw off the way I could walk. It threw off the balance in my face. It threw off everything touching. And so, real quick, take your left leg over your right. And then your right hand underneath your left hand underneath, and then your right hand on your shoulder. And then you're gonna turn your head all the way to the right and turn your body to the left. You're gonna take your right thumb on the back of the molars, and you're gonna swipe your palate all the way to the other side of the molar like a rainbow. So, and I want you to feel your palate, because if it's not level, so if you don't have the same on each side, you're gonna be off on each side. So just really get this twist. Take your thumb all the way to the side. We're gonna do 8, 1, and again 6 or 7. So get in there. 1. And so keep your legs crossed if you can, just for a second. Let's see. in the jaw release, I want you guys to feel it before you go in there. So when we do a jaw release, because again, you guys have no idea how much tension we're holding in our body. And so it's really gonna go mostly up here. Yeah. And so you just kind of feel it on the outside of your jaw for right now and kind of push and hold. And you feel that? And so we're gonna go in the mouth and you're just gonna take your fingers back to there. And then once it starts to, hello!
Hey.
Once it starts to release, then you're gonna start to turn your fingers. So everybody is gonna release at a different time depending on your jaw, and you'll know when it's time because your fingers will actually start to, when I get done with some clients, I'm like, are you okay? Because they will go back pretty quick. And so we're gonna hold. And actually, let's stand up. I'm sorry. Let's stand up. It's better. I know. It's hard. Look, so you're pushing it all the way back here, like this. And then you're going to look up and breathe. And just look down and just relax. I know this probably looks really funny, but that's okay, right? It's only weird if you make it weird. And so just breathe. So we're gonna be here for about 3 minutes. So settle in, Sally. Play with your breath. And so another thing that we like to do in our studio, our body holds stories in our tissue. And so we like to say, I love myself. And so just think to yourself, man, when's the last time I said I love myself? So I love myself. Clearly, because I got my fingers on now. And I love my mother. This is where it usually starts to open up. And I love my father. And it is safe to be in my body. Make your breath long. So if your finger is starting to go back, I want you to start to twist it now. So you're gonna twist where your fingers are pointing down and twist it out. And that should have gotten quite a bit more uncomfortable. And let me bring some tissue around for anybody. Because it will endure. And so when our fascia is stuck, and we hydrate it at a cellular level, you start basically salivating at a crazy level. And so we're unsticking your fascia right now. And so have you guys started turning it now? Are you getting some space? You still love me? We're still good and friends, okay? And breathe. And if it's giving you a little, turn it on now. And if you like, you can start moving your body all the way around. You can start squatting. It's really up to you how much you want to do and how deep you want to go. But let me just tell you, this is getting rid of years and years. So I'd go for it. And then again, so twisting, because we're trying to get the width of the fingers. You guys feel that? So trying one more time to turn it or get in there just a little bit more, not a whole lot of pressure, more twisting. And breathe. Looking up if you can. So if you can just come one more time, just down where your fingers can get really back there. Take some deep breaths again, connect to yourself. Thank you, Audie. Thank you for holding all the things that I could not hold when I didn't have the knowledge or the nervous system to deal with what was happening to me. Our jaw took it on, our pelvis took it on. Especially if you can get that turning in there, you guys should feel that releasing super deep. Take a couple more breaths. I just came undone. Ooh, yes. Oh, and then slowly take your fingers back out of your mouth. Okay.
Roll factory.
So how does that feel? And so the more that you salivated, the more that you actually released fascia.
I didn't know it went back that far.
I know, right? It's like we end up stopping right here, and then by the time we get done, especially if you can have somebody do it for you, I mean, you end up.
Bridget won't be in here, yeah.
Yeah, I know from you. I mean, it kept opening and opening and opening. I was like, oh, girl, are you okay? Okay, and so the next one, while we got our fingers in our mouth, these two fingers, remember how I was telling you the tongue, right? Is this, all this, and I used to have, it was hanging and vertical, bad, and my daughter would be like, turkey neck. I was like, you B-word. No, I'm kidding. And so that is from a misplaced tongue. So our tongue should be rested on the roof of our mouth. Like that. So take your tongue wide and press it on the top of your mouth as hard as you can. Mm-hmm. And feel what that does to the roof of your mouth. So keep pressing. Mm-hmm. Now, keeping the tongue on the roof of your mouth, open it up, and take that and keep it on the roof of the mouth. And again, when you feel this release, it's like, whoa. It takes a minute. It's weird. Let it be weird. Okay, so these two fingers are going to come in here and press here. So they're pressing down into this palate out here, and then you're going to use your thumbs to press back into this palate. So it's pressing down underneath the tongue and then pressing up. I'm pressing down and I'm pressing up. And do this. Hold here. Breathe. And you're just kind of using the weight of your hands to pull your hands wide, but almost just like this, not like, but like, because we're trying to widen that palate as well. So we're trying to get a bigger jawline, right? Oh. And please, please, with the intention, body, I know you've held on to so much, and I feel you, and I'm there for you. You know, like do it with intention. Notice what's happening under here. Notice when it's releasing. Notice the signals your body is giving you. We're so just we never touch ourselves. So we're all about touching ourselves in this studio. Breathe. Okay, next, keep your hands in there. Tongue is going up to the roof of your mouth. So try to touch the roof of your mouth with the tip of your tongue. As you're still pulling down and you're pressing. And I haven't heard any yet, so you're doing good. Let's go ahead and take that pointer finger. This also opens up all these fine lines that we start to get around our mouth because our fascia gets stuck. And so your lips will get more plump by doing this. So you, like I said, you don't even need Botox, you don't need all the fillers. By pulling the lips, we're getting those lines filled with our fascia. And so, where did I put my hands on my armpit? Let me grab a different one. Whew. How's that feel? Yeah, there's a lot with the tongue and the mouth. Okay, and so inside. And push as hard as you can on the mouth. Now faster. Notice where you feel this all in your face. Notice where you feel this all in the back of your head. Notice where you feel this in your shoulders. Now reverse. Hold on. I think this one's the hardest one. Couple more. All right, you can go ahead and sit back down. And sit under here, so kind of feel right here. You feel where your tongue is, kind of right there? And so mine used to stick out quite bad, like almost like a frog right here. And then I was told that I would have to get my whole throat cut out and and bones removed and all the things because I had like this thyroglossal duct cyst and all these different. Anyway, that was so many years ago. But but by working on these things, I'm getting rid of all that inflammation that's around there. So if you have all these nodules around your jaw, so kind of start feeling if you have any knots, nodules, any crunchiness, so any of that, so anywhere you feel a knot or a nodule, I want you to stay. And by me working under here, I'm releasing the side of my eyebrow. So just kind of digging. So again, if there's no fascia that's stuck, you should be able to very much grab all around the jaw, all around your diaphragm, all of those places. If there's stuck fascia, you're gonna have some trouble. So just trying to get all the way around that jawline. Deep, slow breaths. Play with in through the nose, out through the nose, in through the mouth, out through the mouth. And for me, mine are the worst right here. And so if I want you to kind of find the spot on you that gives you that you feel it the worst, and we're gonna hold that for a little bit. So take your elbow on your knee if you want, and just kind of settle in for a second. So whenever we get the sign-ups of who's doing what with the face yoga and everything, you'll actually have tools that will help you with this so it doesn't hurt your hands so much. But I want you guys to feel these things in your body. And as it starts to like let go, a lot of times I'll try to trace it down my neck, but just kind of feel your body right now, where it feels like it might be stuck, that you're not able to get all around that bone or that joint or that jawline. I carry it all right here, but a lot of people carry it here or up here. And don't mash too hard because you want to do super slow, almost like you're trying to pull the adhesions apart and then holding on to it. So all of this is like, I don't even like sewage and all that fun stuff. So a lot of times when you release a lot of this stuff, you will feel a little sick for a couple hours, so just be mindful of that. It's just some toxins that are releasing in the body, and if everybody's okay with charcoal, we have some charcoal we can give you, because you'll actually, this drainage will kind of make you feel a little flu-like because it's been stuck there for so long. So just finding those places that feel stuck, because we want to get all around the jawline. Two, it's about connecting with ourselves too. It's like, why am I holding here? Like, why is it not, why is it so tight right here? Because again, this is like pulling down, giving me jowls, right? Giving me a weak eyebrow on the other side. It's just crazy what these things do. So then when I start noticing, okay, I notice the pattern now of the holding that I'm doing that's causing that to stay where it is. If you guys are on a spot and you're stuck on that spot, go right where that spot was, and again, we're trying to melt that butter, so kind of pulling that, but push the skin, and then just allow your hand weight to pull that skin down and breathe. Just feel your own body release. I used to go get massages where they dug in my neck for like an hour and a half and never got rid of the pain. And then just doing light movements like this has helped me more than anything else has. And when I do your face mapping and I send you your guys' face mapping, it's really interesting what it can tell you about the organs and how they're functioning in your body, about stories that have happened in your life, because that very much affects the lines on your face. It's quite interesting. So if you're moving to the other side now, again, just finding mine is always right here. This little guy, just move. a different place for everybody based on your holding patterns. And so pulling that skin down. Coming forward just for a second, taking your hand onto your chest, and we're just gonna pierce that skin and pull that skin down. And then this skin, don't choke yourselves, but lift that skin up and breathe. Depending on how you want to look at this is an energetic thing. So if we don't speak our truth, when we don't speak up when we should, when we hold back our truth, that could be why we feel super locked up in this area. It could also, thyroid. So we're also releasing your thyroid. So just relax and breathe. In through the mouth, out through the mouth. And let's inhale for 4 through the nose and exhale for 4 through the nose. Notice what breath works best for your body, which breath releases your body the best. And then that one should make you feel super relaxed, actually. So we're just gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna show you guys a couple of different fascia maneuvers that has nothing to do with your face, but everything to do with your face still. But right here, is your mouth more open? She's over there going, ah! So grab right here. So under and grab and hold. So some people are like, ah, when some people are like, yeah, I don't feel anything. So just notice on you, and we're gonna hold for a second. So anytime we're trying to do these, we want long time, because fascia didn't get there overnight. But it does release such in a beautiful way. This is the muscle that starts causing the jowls. To feel on your own body when it starts to release, because a lot of times we can hold and hold and hold, and it's like it's not doing anything, and then all of a sudden it just starts releasing at a rapid, crazy rate. So fascia needs time, it needs patience. Mine took that whole time. Nice. So now mine's super relaxed. And notice if yours feels a lot more loose now. And so I have this guy that I just don't have enough for everybody, but sorry. I didn't expect extra. So this is something a lot of times that we do while we're releasing the diaphragm. In class, we'll kind of sit like this, which feels amazing, but for today, eyebrows, there's a little notch right here. Just throwing balls. There's a little notch that you'll find right there, and so just taking both elbows onto your your knees or whatever's the most comfortable. And just holding there. So hooded eyes is because we're of these right here. So when our eye starts to fall down, it's because this is pulling too much. So breathe. Again, notice when your own body releases. So try to be present. Don't worry about what is going on in the room. Be in your body, in your presence, feeling what this is doing all over. Sometimes when we release something in somebody's like shoulder, they'll feel it in their foot. Sometimes it's awesome. The body is so awesome. So stay there for just a little bit longer. I want you to kind of feel it, how that feels when it releases. Let's take a really, really deep inhale through the nose. Open up the mouth. Just let it go. Inhale. Notice if your body opened up a little bit more. We use our breath to move lymph, move fascia. So now you're gonna walk your fingers over to the part of your eyebrow that kind of, usually kind of goes up. Ooh, you okay? Yeah, the fingers might start getting, especially if you don't use them much. And you'll feel like a little notch over here as well. And again, so we're just gonna try to get under that eye socket, underneath here. And I like to use my thumb so I can kind of go under my eye socket like that, and then just relax. And just remember, longer breath, longer life. So that when we take lots of little short breaths, we'll feel more tired, we'll feel more anxious, so over breathing is it anxiety, asthma, heart, so we want to slow the breath down. Couple more deep inhales. So and then just slowly relax for a second, release. Just kind of notice how your face feels. I feel like I feel a little woo-hoo-hoo. And so I'm going to show you a couple of these tools for a second. And for you guys, if your hands are hurting, so take your hand like this and push and pull back the fingers, and kind of like you're trying to push your palm forward. So a lot of times we get the numbness and tingling in our hands or all that stuff. And so we're pushing that back, and then so just kind of bringing these around. These are fascial maneuvers through the human garage. And so in a second, we're going to kind of work a little bit of our whole back area. So now taking that elbow and take it into your side and pull that palm up, and then turn the palm to the side. Take your right leg over your left leg. So now we're doing fascial maneuvers. And turn your head over to your left shoulder cone, So really push on that left side of the tongue and then breathe. Keep pushing the tongue. And now we're going to inhale through the mouth for 3. Inhaling, hold, inhale, hold, inhale, hold. So keep turning. And then in through the nose, out through the nose. Notice your body when it starts to let go. And you'll feel this all over. Just because we're working on the hand and wrist, you're gonna feel it on your left side. You're gonna feel it on your left hip. You're gonna feel it all in weird places. And then, ooh, unravel. Just shake that hand out for a second, especially when we do a lot of the digging. Those hands get tired. And so switch legs and switch arms. And so this arm, palm facing down. I always like to tell people, like, stop. And then pull that palm down and pull the fingers back. And so just hold that for a second. Kind of push the palm up. Ooh. Pull those fingers back. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. This is my injured arm. So pulling that into your side, and then arm up to your shoulder. Ooh, man, I feel this everywhere. And then turning your fingers out, and now looking over your right shoulder, and then twisting to the left. Tongue goes on the inside of your right mouth. Your right, yeah. So sticking the tongue to the side, breathe. Inhale for 3. And then in through the nose, out through the nose. I want you to kind of feel where your body is letting go. It might not be anywhere where we're touching. Release that, shake your hands off. Woo! Oh. Okay, I'm gonna kind of explain a little bit of just some of these tools real quick. Does anybody have any questions or anything? I know that was a lot to kind of throw at you guys. But while I'm explaining those, if I could just love y'all enough to get you to sit in broken toe pose for me for just a minute. And so what broken toe pose is we're trying to tuck the feet, and then we're trying to just kind of sit right here. So if you need to kind of take some time, because it's a different sensation that we're probably not used to. So if you need to kind of take some time, and you can kind of walk your hands then up to your knees, and then eventually we're trying to get all the way up.
No, Ken, just keep.
And so right here, very much attached. So this right here is attached to our tongue. So a lot of times we will pull our tongue out. We don't have time for that today. But so if you guys can just, and if you need to come up and down, you know, going back and forth, that is totally fine. And so I'm just going to kind of explain a couple of these different tools that we have. I'm sure everybody has seen one of these. And, you know, and a lot of times we would think that we would pull this down, which would be different for fascia. So when we were doing that, we're melting and pulling down lymph. And then when we're trying to kind of work on this area, we want to pull this up. A lot of times we'll dig and you'll see that fascia being pulled. But if it's crunchy anywhere on your face, that's a place that you want to kind of just keep digging, right? Can you hear that a little bit? And you want to get into those forehead spots. This stuff right here is fantastic to be able just to, oh oh, and it releases like all this back here. So these are really good. And then this guy right here is fantastic for head fascia. Oh, it hurts so good. These are other tools too that we'll use to kind of get in here and get in these little spots that tend to get sticky. So again, anywhere on your face that you feel crunchy, and you guys can come and we'll get some wipes and you can kind of play with some of these and see how they feel on your face. But anywhere you feel crunchy on your face, it's stuck and it's pulling from somewhere. So if we kind of dig that out, and then this is called a xylo tape. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, xylo or something like that. But you basically take it from here to here and just wear it for a few hours, and it helps start making those muscles that have been chilling to start kind of activating again. And then you take a crisscross around your chin. So that will be in all y'all's information when you sign up. These are great for moving lymph as well. I'm sure you guys have seen these, that you just kind of brush the face and brush the lymph and try to brush. They actually feel quite nice. Yeah. These guys. So we had to kind of get creative with ways to kind of hold our skin and twist our body, because when we twist our skin, it releases the fascia all throughout our body. So we take these and twist in opposite directions. And I mean, if you haven't done this, it's an amazing experience. I'm telling you. And so you just kind of get it twisted in the whole direction. So we're always pulling to the right? So we're always pulling down. So we want to twist this backwards, and we want to twist this forward, and breathe. And you'll feel all this release all on the side. A lot of times we'll stick our fingers in our ears, release our ears. There's so many different things that we do in here. It's insane. This guy right here is really good for the really, really pinpointed spots on our body. And we'll hold these for a little bit, but you'll get lessons on how to use all these tools. We have like little kits that we're giving, for people who are doing the face yoga series. And these, my daughter, she introduced me to these. I thought it was the dumbest thing ever, but it's actually quite cute. Because like when you wash your face and you get wet, so you don't want to you just don't want to do it because you get everywhere. Yes, and then you're so you wear them to and even guys. So when you wash your face, you don't get, because that's why I don't wash my face at night. I know that sounds so lazy, but anyway, so it comes with a lot of cool fun things. And there's mirrors, and you'll get some tools, and you'll get stuff to release your feet and all the things and the stuff. And
several of our raffle baskets have these items.
Yes, and several of our raffle baskets, if you guys look around the room, you'll see a lot of these baskets have the balls in them. They'll have some the wash the tools and some of the other things in there. So yeah. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions? No. How do y'all feel? How does I want y'all to do this real quick.
How long does a session take if you're doing it in your regimen, your daily regimen? How long is that?
5-10 minutes. So when I get in the shower, I do this.
We stay in there for a long time.
So I just kind of do it as I'm throughout the day. When you know what to push on and you know what to start doing, you're like, oh man, right here was amazing. I need to.
Well, the pin between your toes,
yes.
You should hold it 3 minutes between each toe.
Yeah.
So while you're sitting there watching TV, grab your pen or a pencil and.
What did you do again? Because I was messing. Did you just
So
stick it in
yeah,
there?
you just pull it down, and so because this is the furthest place from our from everything is our fingers and our toes, and so we release the webbing between our fingers, which also pulls down on our face, and our toes, and so it's basically you're just pushing where the webbing is and then holding, and so for some people they don't feel anything, and for some people they want to come out of their skin.
Is it like wearing toe spreaders? Kind of, you're getting
yeah. We do a lot of toe spreaders in here. So, but it's a little bit more. The toe spreaders are great because they start to get the feet to actually work the muscles and widen like they're supposed to, so that all the parts are touching. But these are great for like releasing fascia that's kind of pulling down. And so, like she said, when you're watching movies or you're just sitting around, you're sitting at your desk waiting for something, or just sit here like this or like this, or you kind of know all the spots now, right? Pulling that. The other thing that we do is the tongue pulling, which is quite amazing. Nobody likes it while they're doing it, but we have them try to, if they can, be in broken toe pose, but we pull the tongue and then we'll twist it, and that actually releases the hips and a lot of emotions too. So we have a lot of emotions come out when we release things, so it's quite intense. Anyway, so you guys finish your stations. Thank you so much for taking this with me today and being so awesome, because I know all that's super weird, right? It's like we don't normally like stick our fingers in our mouth, and especially in a group of people like, hey, go. But I don't know if you guys can feel the difference in your face. Yeah.
Yes.
And so, and I definitely want to make sure that we get everybody's picture before you leave. If you are going to sign up for the 6-week series, because it's 6 weeks and we're doing it twice a week, then there's a waiver. I'm not a waiver. A questionnaire that's pretty in depth. It's going to ask a little bit about your history, and it's more for you. So as you go through your journey, you can start to connect your patterns. It's really cool.
Is it virtual, since the times are like midday type thing? Is it like recorded and stuff?
Oh yeah. And we'll
you
have
just
live
do whatever.
sessions too. So if you can't make it, and then if you can't make it at that time too, you can go back and watch the live sessions, and so you'll have access to the group. Yes, definitely. Kind of like what we did with the 40-day challenge.
Yeah.
How much is it?
So it's $50. If you sign up today, you can get like one of the the packages for free. If you're already a member, it's free for a member. So the membership is $100, and you get access to all the classes and everything. You get unlimited classes and all that. So you get the face yoga in the membership. So it's only $50 more, and then you get everything. So that's up to you as well. But yeah, it'll give you a lot of information. It's a really great series. But like I said, it will be virtual and in person, so you can attend it either way. And we'll go through, because there's also, we release here, which I know it looks really crazy, but we grab here and we breathe, because all this is pulling all this down, right? So we breathe. So a lot of the things that we do in here are really, just not your normal thing that you see, but we're wanting to empower you to be able to do the things to help yourself, right? To not have to depend on somebody else to help you or to tell you what's wrong with you. I want to know what's wrong. I want to know how to feel. I want to know how to release myself. I want to know how to feel better in my own skin, and then when you start releasing things in your face and realize the connection, man, what could I do with my organs? What could I do with my everything else? So we do organ releases in here. We do all kinds of things. We make you connect to yourself because you are the most important project you'll ever work on. So thank you guys for showing up for yourself today. Thank
When does
you.
it start?
It starts Wednesday.
When this coming Wednesday?
Or am I doing it Wednesday or Thursday? I think it's Thursday at 9:30. No. Wednesday at 1:30. I'll have to. I think.
Don't get me wrong.
I think I was gonna do Wednesday and Thursday and Saturday, but I think that might be overkill on the face. So I think I was gonna do because we have a class from 8 to 9, and I was gonna just